Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I'm excited to share with you another Cricut tutorial. This is made with the Cricut Maker. I'm going to cut fabric on the Cricut Maker and I'm going to show you how to not only make the pattern in Design Space, but then we're going to cut it out and assemble it. What we're making today is this cute little pouch, and this was born out of necessity. When I travel, I usually have a little baggie that I throw in my suitcase that has Band-Aids in it, first aid cream, Tylenol, nail clippers, just stuff that I normally always take with me. And I thought, you know, I can make a little cute pouch to put all this in. And I thought this would be a really fun idea. You can see here I've got quite a bit of stuff in here. I have first aid cream, I have some Benadryl packs, Tylenol, just odds and ends, Band-Aids, gauze, stuff that you just might need on the fly. And I thought this was a great idea. It could go in a diaper bag, could keep one in your dashboard in your car, or, you know, just keep one for travel, whatever. But it's a cute little gift, and I think I'm going to be making one for each of the kids for Christmas. So let's hop over to Design Space. I'm going to show you how to create this pattern, and then we'll put it together. So let's get started in Design Space. There's not a whole lot of work to do here. It's pretty simple to put this pattern together. All we need is some shapes. We're going to click on Shapes and insert a square. First thing we're going to do is unlock Keep Proportions. We can do that by clicking right here on the lock in the lower left corner of the square, or we can click the lock right up here in the Edit menu bar right at the top of the screen. Once that lock is unlocked, we're going to change that width to 6.5. Oops, 6.5. And we're going to change the height to 4.5. Perfect. Now, the next thing we're going to do is insert another shape, or you could just duplicate that one if you wanted. I'm just going to insert another square. We're going to move that over here. Again, we're going to unlock Keep Proportions. We're going to change this one to 6.5 by 1.5. All right. While that one's selected, we're going to click Duplicate. Now we're going to change this one, unlock Keep Proportions, change this one to 6.5 by 3. All right, you just made one of your layers of pattern. So let's go over here in Design Space in the Layers panel and click on a color that represents the fabric you're going to use for your outer lining. And let's see, mine are both blue, so I'm just going to use blue for the outer. All right, let's go over to the Color Sync button, and we can move this down to blue and move this down to blue. Perfect. Now let's select all of that. Right click and group. Those are just the way we want them. Click back over to the Layers panel. While they're still selected, click Duplicate. Perfect. Now, while this one is highlighted over here in the Layers panel, click on one and pick a color that represents your lining fabric. My lining fabric's going to be very similar colors, but it has some pops of red in it, so I'm just going to use that. Great. Go over to the Color Sync menu again, and you see how we have a medium, a small, well, this is our large, a small, and a medium rectangle. We're going to pull the other large down to the red, and we're going to pull the other small down to the red. So you should have a small, medium, and large in both selections. If you messed up and moved the wrong one, all you have to do, you can just move these back and forth. No problem. But it should look something like this. You should have 2 large pieces, 1 in each color, 2 small pieces, 1 in each color, and 2 medium pieces, 1 in each color. And you guys, that's all we need for this pattern. Okay, so all that's left to do is click Make It. You're going to need 1 piece of fabric in your outer fabric that measures approximately 7 by 10, and 1 piece of fabric in your lining fabric that also measures approximately 7 by 10. Now, if you want to add interfacing to your bag and make it a little bit sturdier, you can. I would go ahead and add the interfacing before you cut it. And here we go. Also, for Cricut Explore users, you can just use the measurements that I gave you and cut your fabric out, or you could cut this out in paper and use the paper as a pattern to cut your fabric. Or you could try cutting it with just heat and bond. It's going to have a little bit different feel on the inside because heat and bond leaves a shiny, it's not really sticky, but it's going to be a little bit different on the inside, but it would still work for this application as a first aid kit. So if you want to try to cut it with your Explore and the fabric blade or a brand new regular blade, that would work with heat and bond. So go ahead and click continue. If you're making it with the Maker, you're going to choose your Maker. And I just cut mine out of some cotton quilting fabric, and that's all you need. And you need a 7-inch zipper. So meet me over in the craft room and we'll start putting this together. Okay, so you have all your pieces cut out. You should have 2 large ones, 2 mediums, and 2 small, one of each, the lining and the outer fabric. This is going to be my lining. This is going to be my outer fabric. So the first thing we're going to do is put aside our large pieces, put aside our small ones, and we're going to work with the medium. We're going to put our outer fabric pretty side up. We're going to take our zipper, put it pretty side, or not pretty side, but zipper pull side down. And you want to try to center that up. If you're not sure where the center is, center up the zipper stops. That's the center of your fabric. Fold this in half. You can kind of finger press it. That's your center, and this is your center. And make sure you put the zipper pull side down. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take my lining fabric and put it pretty side down. So outer fabric, pretty side up, zipper pull down, lining, pretty side down. And then you're going to line up all 3 of these on that top edge of the zipper. And you can pin or clip it into place. I like to use these Wonder Clips, or straight pins are perfectly fine too. I'll have these clips linked in the description below the video. But go ahead and line this up. And once you get to the other end, make sure your fabric is still lined up front and back of the zipper. And then you're going to take this over to your sewing machine, put your zipper foot on, and you're just going to sew right in the middle of that zipper tab on this side. So just do a nice easy stitch, go slow. If your zipper pull gets in your way, put your needle down before you get to it. Lift your presser foot up and move the zipper out of your way. So go ahead and start sewing that, and I'll be right back with mine. Okay, once you've sewn that, it should look something like this. If you open it up, your zipper is sandwiched right in between. And that's exactly what you want. You're going to pull those 2 sides together. You're going to press it out just like this. So I've pressed it so that those seams are nice and flat. And now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to top stitch right along that edge so that all 3 of those layers are tapered down together. Okay, so you can see I top stitched right along that zipper. Now we are going to take our 2 smaller pieces. We're going to take our outer fabric, pretty side up. We're going to take our zipper, pull side down, and then we're going to take our other small piece, our lining piece, pretty side down. And you're going to line up all of those along that edge and clip. Again, make sure when you get to that other end, you're still lined up, your fabric's still lined up. And we look good there. So you're going to repeat what we just did. You're going to go ahead and stitch right in the middle of that zipper tab. and go all the way down the zipper. And then we're going to open it up, press, and top stitch on the other side. So I'm going to get that done, and I'll be right back. Okay, so your panel should look something like this. We're going to open up the zipper. We're going to lay the panel down just like this with the outer fabric facing up and the lining facing down. We're going to take our other outer fabric, the big square, we're going to put that face down on top of that one. And then we're going to take our remaining lining piece and put that pretty side up on top of that one. And clip into place. And then line your bottom edges up. Clip into place. And then line your sides up. If you have any fabric, I would let it out on the bottom if you have any extra. And that's just from cutting the one side in half, depending on your seam allowances and whatnot. When you're sizing this one, make the fabric flat where your zipper is. Line that zipper back up as if it was closed, but don't close it. And pin those into place. And again, if you have any buckles in the fabric, let it out of the bottom. And then pin. Okay, so now you're going to start stitching somewhere. Don't start on a corner, but start stitching, backstitch, and go all the way around the pouch until you meet where you started. Backstitch and close it up. Okay, so your pouch should look something like this. You've stitched all the way around the edges. And now if you, depending on how much seam allowance you left, you can trim up any excess. Just make sure you don't trim those seams up. You can go ahead and chop off the ends of your zipper, again, making sure you don't go inside that seam. And go ahead and take a pair of scissors and trim up those edges. Just clip the corners, don't cut your seams. Okay, so once you have that all trimmed up, you can just flip this out. Sometimes it helps to use a chopstick or a bone folder on those corners to get those tucked out and squared up. And you've just created your little first aid kit. And like I said, if you want this bigger, all you have to do is make your rectangles bigger, but follow the exact same. I just wanted something small that I could just, like I said, put my essentials in there and just always keep this in my travel stuff so I can just grab it and go and it's ready to go. If you wanted this to be a little bit stiffer and have a little more body to the fabric, you can always add interfacing to the fabric before you cut it. But I kind of liked it just the way it is. Like I said, I was trying to keep it as small as possible and just something that had enough that I could put my Band-Aids and some Tylenol and whatnot that I usually travel with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.